much. Right, OK. Nicola Sturgeon's not banging on about this too much, is she, when she's flag-waving and calling for, freedom and all of this stuff? Why is she ignoring all of this?
No, I mean, this will be a hammer blow to parents and pupils right throughout Scotland, and it yet again shows that the SNP have the wrong priorities. The Scottish Health Secretary, Shirley-Anne Somerville, has known that these negotiations have been going on for months, but because of the SNP's misplaced financial priorities and their misplaced political priorities, they've taken their eye off the ball, and that's why teachers have rejected the latest offer, and that's why there'll now be 16 days of new strike action in the new year, along with strikes here in December. And this is really worrying for Scottish parents and pupils. Yeah, sorry, we are going to have to be a bit short and sweet on this one, Craig, but just educate me a little bit, and dare I say it, potentially many people watching and listening as well. Who is actually responsible in Scotland for teachers' pay? I mean, is it Nicola Sturgeon? Could she give them more money? Absolutely. She needs to make sure that COSLA, the authority that engages in the negotiations with teachers, is adequately funded. But for years and years, for a decade and more, the SNP have hollowed out funding for Scottish councils whilst asking them to do more. So the chickens have come home to roost. Make no mistake, the blame for these strikes that are coming that will cause huge inconvenience lies at the door of Nicola Sturgeon and the SNP government. So in a nutshell, Nicola Sturgeon at the next general election is desperate to make that entire election about a single issue, which is Scottish independence, which would rather conveniently mask the fact that some of her own teachers are going on strike, that the health system is not particularly great, there's the highest drug death in Europe, all of this stuff, and dare I say even stifle some debate on whether or not trans men should be in women's prisons, which is taking place in your neck of the woods as well, as far as I can tell. So she is potentially skirting over problems like the one we're seeing right now. Yeah, I mean, she wants to make the next general election a de facto referendum on independence, and that's because she doesn't want to talk about the SNP's appalling record on schools, hospitals, roads, railways, and two ferries that are £150 million over budget and 5 years late. That's the appalling record of Nicola Sturgeon and the SNP in government here in Scotland.